What's up, class? On tonight's detention span, we dive into week 12 in the NFL. We recap some college football. We got a little bit of Ask the Class. And of course, we're giving out our big mic of the week. So without further ado, welcome to Detention Span.
Sit down, kids, and strap on in. The attention span is about to begin. Kirby's at the desk, bringing the heat, and the boys on the couch are never taking defeat. We're gonna bet it all on the money line. The attention span is in session tonight. Tell me what you think. Should I take the parlay? If they score, you gotta drink. Hey, we're just getting started. We're getting yards on the ground. Defense is playing tight. Detention span is in session tonight.
Same.
Oh,
Nothing's really improved in my life since then, so I feel like they're pretty much the same.
Has she hit you up yet?
I don't kiss and tell.
Smart man, smart man. Welcome to Detention Span. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. It was an action-packed football weekend. We're going to dive in. Man, I had some fun watching ball this weekend. How you boys doing?
Good games, man. Doing good.
Where you guys
Watching the Rams put some belt to ass right now on the Bucks.
Yeah, kind of like we were talking, the Rams are just, like I said, that schoolyard bully who is just going to beat the heck. Sorry, I'm not trying to cuss within the first 5 minutes. I guess that does kind of monetize you in some form or way. So the Rams just beat the heck and the absolute spit out of you. So they're pretty dominant, man. They're up, 21-0 now on the Bucks on Sunday night.
They're a flipping tough team, dude.
They're flipping. They're freaking good.
They're freaking gosh darn really good at football, man.
I mean, freaking heck, dude. Freaking heck.
Stafford with another no look. He just makes those look so effortlessly. I don't know how he always just does those no look passes.
He might be the modern king of the backwards hat right now.
Yeah, no, for real. He's probably the flyest backwards hat wearing dude right now in the league. Do you think there's any coaches who would be vindicated of wearing a backwards hat right now? Do you think McVay could pull off a backwards hat right now?
McVay would be the one that would wear a backwards hat.
I could definitely say that.
There's a lot of forward hats. I feel like you wear a hat forward, it presents more professional.
I feel like Mike McDaniel would definitely try it.
Oh, he would go sideways.
Probably.
You had one of those,
He'd go like crisscross.
one of the little kid hats with the spinners on top.
Bro, if Andy Reid wore a backwards hat, I think the world would end.
That's how the Chiefs would turn things around. Andy Reid comes out in a backwards hat.
They gotta switch it up.
Backwards fitted.
He's more of a Kangol guy, I feel like, if he was to wear a hat. I could see him pull off maybe a fedora type look.
Just starts wearing suits to games.
Bro.
Bring back the suits.
I would love if I think they should bring back the suits for the Super Bowl.
That would be crazy.
I think, but I mean, then again, like you kind of see these coaches running up and down, jumping all around. It kind of looks like the best time ever to wear coaching attire. It's probably the most comfortable it's ever been.
Oh, yeah.
But, no. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say the coaches always be having some dope swag.
They do, bro. I know you took that from Doug Peterson last
Exactly,
year.
yeah. I literally, when Doug Peterson saw this, or was wearing this, I was like, I got to have it.
Do you think, I know certain coaches just donate like all their old alma or like school or professional team gear if they get like fired or relieved of their duties, they go and donate it. So, and just imagine like hitting a jackpot one day.
Do you think this is the one he wore?
I bought it from
week
him.
18?
No, I got it from him.
Dang.
Straight from the sideline.
Do you think if we wrote like a letter to all 32 NFL teams, do you think we'd get any replies back with stuff?
I think we get stickers. Maybe I think the best we would get back is like a license plate cover.
You think so? A license plate cover?
That would be kind of tight though.
I don't know. What if we said we were like part of like a third grade class?
Then they would definitely send some more, like a swag bag.
We get some swag.
I feel like we'd have better luck with like colleges.
Well, there's
Yeah.
probably a lot of
Like we literally did when for Mrs. Ellis's class. Or was it Ellis's class? Sorry, I shouldn't have name dropped there.
Who?
Oh, no.
It's all right. We'll cover it in post.
Miss Ellis is not safe anymore.
We're gonna have to throw it. We're gonna have to bleep the name out.
My apologies. I hope she doesn't watch this and get upset that
You want to drop her address as well?
Oh my gosh. No, it was an exciting weekend. Do you guys want to dig into some NFL games, or do you guys want to? Maybe it wasn't the most exciting college football weekend necessarily in terms of matchups and who was playing who, but there were some good games, I would say, that did over deliver. So do you guys maybe want to hop into a couple college football highlights we have from this weekend, and then we can roll into recapping week 12 and then the NFL?
Let's do it.
Sorry, my mind's going like 20 places at once. I was like reading that and trying to say that. So
I got mine.
I'm glad I
You're
somewhat
good.
kind of landed the plane. I crashed it. I definitely, wings fell off, but I landed it.
Safe landing, man. That's all you can ask for.
I just want to say something that pissed me off. The Bucks running back last week, he, after they...
Bucky Irving?
No, not Bucky. Or Sean, is it Sean Tucker?
Not sure.
I know his last name's Tucker. He like was basically tweeting and about how good of a game he had, and he was kind of gloating about it. And I was like, didn't you guys get smacked? Didn't you guys lose?
Oh, I think I did see something about that. People were roasting him because he commented. Yeah, he posted something after they lost.
That's a bad look. We're gonna get into the Bucks and Rams probably towards the end of it, but it is not looking good for Tampa Bay right now.
Yeah.
But like I said, we're going to talk some college football. So who wants to start with their favorite couple games or highlights from this weekend?
I have to start off with my Vols
You know
going
what?
into the swamp and absolutely dominating. Being able to do the chomp after the game for the first time since 2003 is kind of a pretty big deal. So that's definitely my number one highlight, my number one personal highlight from this weekend.
My number one personal highlight was Pavi's mom grinding on the rail and hitting the Heisman Trophy. Jesus Christ. We're past 5 minutes. I can cuss now. That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was some crazy stuff.
Speaking of Tennessee, I mean, that correlates Vandy's in Tennessee, so sorry, I was just thinking of that. That made me think of Pavi's mom grinding on the railing. I just didn't think of that by myself.
Yeah, that was probably the worst thing that's happened in that stadium. Probably since last year's Tennessee versus Vandy game.
Huge game for you next week.
Yeah,
Any early predictions for the class out there?
Yeah.
I know earlier you're saying miss me with that Vandy shit. You get a little upset sometimes when we bring Vandy up.
Vandy by 50.
Vandy by 50?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, wait, what? Did you realize?
I'm just kidding. I hate Vanderbilt with every part of my being. It's the same as I would say Oregon for you. You very much dislike Oregon. I very much dislike Vandy. It is
Oregon and SC.
It's the NSC, I guess. It's the little brother that always is talking shit all the time. And I get it. They're better than they have been in years past, and I'll admit that. But it's in Neyland Stadium. We had no problem with them last year, so I don't really see a problem this year. We're going to put up points.
Bet the over?
Bet the over. If you look at Tennessee games, it's basically if Tennessee puts up points quick, they're probably going to win the game. The issue that they have is if they have those self-inflicted wounds, our defense isn't as strong as it was last year. So the self-inflicted wounds is what keeps other teams in the game. But I mean, Tennessee is one of those teams where it's like, the 3 losses, they're against tough teams. There were things that we could have done way better. But like, if you clean up a lot of the stuff, at least 2 of those games, if not all 3, are very winnable. But again, you let games get out of hand. and that's kind of what's happened this year. So they're a good team. They're better than what a lot of people predicted they were going to be this year with the quarterback situation, but I'm excited for the future.
So if you win, then you get to take Pavia's mom out on a date. Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, I don't even know if you necessarily have to win. I mean, I don't know. Theo Vaughn's my good boy, and I mean,
all right.
I don't want to step on his toes, man. That's his lady.
Good call.
Good call. Perk, I know you were really upset about this one, but Oregon did outflash and outperform USC. USC, their defense to me is just a problem. I mean, very close game in the second half, very evenly matched, but again, that second quarter kind of coming back to bite them. The defense just they're not playing all three phases consistently.
Yeah, their tackling is bad. They can't stop the run, but every time they got a big momentum play, there was a penalty, and I saw a lot of drop passes by the receivers and just ugly plays on offense. Like USC, I don't know. They just keep looking badly coached under Lincoln Riley. Like they have talent, but they just keep losing these games because they look badly coached. Like I don't even think the talent was like totally very far apart between Oregon and USC. I just don't think Oregon's that great of a team.
Yeah.
I almost feel like with Lincoln Riley, it's like every single year you know exactly what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Like there hasn't been very surprising things. Like they're going to be able to score points. They're going to have pretty good quarterback play for the most part. And then their defense is just...
Yeah, it's going to give up points. It's going to be a liability.
Yeah, there's not a lot of margin for error when you're playing these top 10 teams, especially such a huge game with huge Big Ten implications, as this game was. You look for your whole team.
Practically a playoff game.
Practically, damn sure they probably would have booted Oregon out of the party if they were to lose that game.
They probably would have put USC in.
Yeah. No, especially with the SEC where it's at, they want to put as many SEC teams in my opinion, as possible. But that definitely hurts your cred.
Well, I meant they would have put SC in if they would have won that game.
You think?
Yeah.
You think they hopped Vandy in Texas?
Oh, hop Texas for sure. Texas was already behind them.
That's true.
But
I
they
guess
would have
that's
hopped
hinging on a...
Because that would have been a top 10 win on the road. But
that would have looked good for your Irish.
It would have. It would have been good for us.
Is that why you were rooting for them?
Yeah, it is. But
hey,
and I was... Well, that's the only time I'm going to... that's how it is in college football. You beat a team, you become their biggest fan. It's like with Pitt. Pitt helped us. One, getting rid of another one-loss team in Georgia Tech and making our win look a little bit better because now they're probably back in the rankings after this week, after beating Georgia Tech. If they beat Miami, that's just icing on the cake.
Yeah, I agree.
That's golden for Notre Dame.
Oh, do we have a Baker injury?
There's a comeback of brewing.
We a touchdown pass to a Wentz, it looked like.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the blue
in
tent.
the tent. In the tent.
That's not good.
Uh-oh.
You never want to see your quarterback go to the blue tent. What is it looking like?
No contact. Grabbed his shoulder.
Throwing?
Oh, that's not good.
It looks like it's
upper body. It's his shoulder. He grabbed his shoulder, it seemed like.
It looks like non-throwing shoulder, allegedly. So, hope he's okay. He'll probably tough it out. The worst thing that I saw this weekend from college football was Brian Kelly's son saying, "Free my boy."
That was crazy, bro.
So I went and looked up his stats because I was just like, I gotta see if this dude plays. He's a linebacker, apparently. I was like, I'm gonna go check his stats out.
Crazy build for a linebacker.
He's as tall as Brian Kelly, who I think is at least 5'7". Zero stats. He has never played.
Because let me guess, he's gone to every school. Well, I guess he's been at LSU and
he transferred from a smaller Division III college, I believe.
Okay, so when his dad got the keys to the building, he just said, "Hey, come on over,
come work out in pads."
Yeah.
Hey, that would suck to be a guy who was like a potential walk on who maybe earned a spot, but they're like, "Hey, man, I gotta get my son on the team."
Yeah, that's
He's
crazy.
gonna stand up for me.
Does he have a scholarship?
I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think he needs one. I think if he's
I
got,
hope-
I think they
I hope
took it
not.
out of his contract.
College teams don't usually have caps in terms of how many kids they. I think they might have actually passed one recently, but or at how many walk-ons they can have. But I mean, teams will carry like over 100 kids.
on the team.
Yeah,
That's crazy. I honestly did. So I don't know what the limit would be, or like you said, you don't think they have one, or they
I think they might have passed one recently, but it's still like you can have like over 100 kids on the team. So I mean, you got to think about it. You have starters on both sides. That's 22 plus all your special teams, and then you probably got a position or someone from like each class at each position.
At least.
And yeah,
got you.
probably. I mean, you probably have 20 kids out of those 100 that are probably never going to see the field unless you're up like Notre Dame was 70. There's probably kids that saw that field on Saturday that probably saw it for the first time and never going to see it again.
Or if you have a situation where people are turning in their jerseys in unison so that the one kid could play.
Yeah.
Going
What
Rudy.
if LSU does that?
Well, think about the bowl games too, how like some of these teams have 30 players going into the portal in a single season. You got to have all those all those walk-on kids ready to go so they can play in a bowl game.
What's your earliest prediction for the school that's going to have the most kids hit the portal?
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, yeah, I was gonna say Ole Miss will be up there. LSU potentially, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of those. I feel like you commit to LSU, not to Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
I feel like for a lot of those kids, I think Auburn could be one though, where a lot of kids leave.
Oh, it doesn't look like Baker's. It looks like he's not really moving that shoulder. That's not good. Who's their backup? Oh, Teddy Bridgewater? Teddy time?
It might be Teddy time.
Sorry, I was just kind of following along with that.
Bridge the waters.
Yeah, LSU, definitely. It's going to be interesting. I could see Miami potentially being one. They get like a lot, I feel like, to receive some, so like they could have.
Oh, you mean like
Who's
a
gonna
team that receives a lot?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you meant like a
was
team that
those.
loses a lot.
Oh, loses a lot?
Yeah, that's why I was saying Ole Miss and Auburn. But
Okay, to flip that, who do you think receives a lot?
Can I give you one who would give a lot?
Who?
Texas.
yeah,
Sark's gone.
I could see it. Yeah, if
It's a piece of
Sark was
garbage.
gone. Yeah, anywhere you lose a lot of guys, people. I think. Yeah, I think LSU, regardless of who they get, it's going to get a lot too because it is LSU, and they're probably going to get a big hire, probably Lane, or if Lane goes to Florida, they'll get a lot.
Yeah, kind of the biggest coaching move.
Yeah.
What about you?
That's what I was saying is I think it's probably going to be whoever has the biggest coaching move. My early prediction would be like an LSU, because I think if they do get Lane, there's going to be a lot of guys who want to play for him, but also you're at LSU, so, and LSU is one of those schools that, you like you were saying, you commit to LSU. There's a lot of guys on there.
Yeah. I think Oklahoma will be a hot spot for players to try to transfer to as well. I mean, you see what they've done over the last couple of years and being able to improve a lot, and they're obviously going to need probably another quarterback this year because I think Mateer is a senior, so they'll probably be going after whatever quarterbacks are top in the transfer portal. Defensive players are going to want to go there, seeing what their defense has been.
Yeah, well said. Well said. Yeah, once we figure out where the landscape of college football lies, they'll basically all be able to unveil themselves. Is that Devontae?
Yeah.
Too
Good. Need
easy.
that. They'll be able
Watch
to
out for
kind
the
of.
cops. They might hit him with the shoulder.
Is the A&M cop there? Yeah, like I
Security was.
said, they'll probably unveil themselves, and we'll find out if those teams are hot or not next year.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of. Other than that, kind of top 10 stays in the same. You have Georgia Tech, obviously, kind of getting early they got ran by Pittsburgh on in this game, and then they had the comeback at the end, but Pitt just pulled away with a late touchdown run at the end to kind of ruin Georgia Tech's day.
Ended their season pretty much.
What is I kind of want to look at the standings right now in the ACC, because the ACC is an interesting conference where there's a lot of fuck shit that's.
I'm pretty sure it's SMU and Virginia right now. It would be the ACC championship. One of those two would be going to the playoffs.
I'm seeing Virginia and Pitt 1-2, and then SMU, then Georgia Tech, then Miami.
Okay, it's Virginia and Pitt.
Wait, so whoever wins that gets an automatic bid?
That's right. Yeah, Pitt does control their own destiny. Yeah, so SMU needs Pitt to lose to Miami. But yeah, whoever wins that game more than likely gets an automatic bid. Yeah, because
that's garbage.
Yeah.
Can they just give their bid to Miami?
They should, honestly,
like, hey,
but Miami.
We want Miami to represent us.
You don't. Yeah, shouldn't have lost to SMU and who is Louisville?
This is the ACC, bro.
Yeah, it's
bad. This is the ACC and Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans.
They're dang near the same tier as the Mountain West and the AAC. And they apparently are beefing heavy with Notre Dame right now, the ACC, because they're pissed about the Miami Notre Dame stuff. I guess they're like, oh, if our teams are going to play Notre Dame and lose and beat them and then still be rated behind them, what's the point of playing Notre Dame?
That's weird.
Yeah, but
it's like, you know what? People don't act like in the college football world. You lose, you go to the back of the line. They go off recent losses.
Yeah, it's like
what have you done for me lately?
It's like, well, you're also then canceling literally the highest grossing games that your teams have every single season. So, what games are your teams getting hyped for besides Notre Dame? Playing Duke and FSU, that's good one every 5 years.
Dude, SEC is gross. By the way, they have actually A&M and Texas as the 1 and 2 right now in the SEC.
A&M at Texas?
Or Texas A&M and Georgia.
I was going to say that can't be right.
And then
but yeah, if Bama...
But are they separated? Don't they have
But
two?
Bama, that's because Georgia's already played their SEC games and Bama still has one more to play. So if Bama wins, they'll be ahead of Georgia. They'll be in the SEC championship. But if they lose, then it is Georgia A&M.
I got to say the most disappointing team in the SEC I'm looking at is like probably South Carolina.
Yeah.
4-7, like that's just a disappointment. They thought they were going to be a lot better than that this year.
Yeah, they lost a lot of talent though. You're not going to just replenish that talent in 1 year at South Carolina. A lot of people that's the thing, is a lot of people see a team finish with some momentum and stuff and they're like, oh, they're going to carry that into next year. But they don't take into account how many guys that team's losing, and because like at like Ohio State, Michigan, a lot of those other SEC schools, the top tier ones, Georgia, Bama, even Tennessee, LSU, you have a class of guys that finish with momentum. You can carry that into the next year. Their classes are good every year. South Carolina, you lose, I think it was 11 guys to the NFL or so, maybe more than that. You're not going to be the same team next year. You're not going to have 11 more NFL guys on your roster the next season.
Mm-mm. South Carolina is one of those schools that it's like every 2 to 3 seasons they'll be sneaky good.
Yeah.
Sorry, my laptop's screaming at me.
And I mean, they'd probably have a better record in some other conferences like the ACC or Big 12, but it's definitely not a playoff team.
No. Well, this is I'm excited. Looking forward to the CFP rankings coming out Tuesday. We'll kind of see where the field lies.
Yeah, I feel like there shouldn't be too much shakeup, really.
No.
The only thing I could see changing would be Oregon maybe jumping over Ole Miss now, just because they have another ranked win now, and Ole Miss didn't even play this week, and their last game was against the Citadel, so I could see them jumping Oregon another spot now.
Yeah, no, I could definitely. The committee loves Oregon. They're either gonna throw them out of the whole thing for losing, or if they win, they're gonna throw them as high as they can.
Yeah, I mean, if they lose their next game to UW, I think they deserve to be out. I think you have to bounce them out of the whole playoff at that point.
What would you do if they lost and then got in over Notre Dame?
There's no way.
What would you, hypothetically speaking?
I did hear somebody say something about how they think an Oregon team with a loss to UW would still have a better resume than Notre Dame. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I mean, their best win is honestly probably this USC game.
That was their best win, and then barely beating Iowa. They don't have an impressive win besides that. They got bullied at home by Indiana. If you went and you lost to UW...
I mean, right now, the eye test, Notre Dame is a lot more physical and bigger and dominant than Oregon.
Yeah, no, exactly. The betting market tells you that. Anybody you listen to that's a true in-depth, no bias college football insider tells you that Notre Dame has a real shot to win the national championship and Oregon doesn't. I'm not even trying to be biased. It's just I basically live and breathe college football podcasts, especially when I'm at work and when I drive to work. And that's literally what I hear people say, is that Notre Dame's got a shot to win the national championship. Oregon, not really. They're maybe an outside looking in shot. Would need a miracle run.
If Stanford beats you next week, you have to dress as the cardinal tree on the show. Are you willing to make that bet?
Probably be hanging from a cardinal tree, but
no, you should put something on the line for if Oregon makes it farther than you in the playoff, you should have to do something.
I think so. I think we need to get an Oregon. Who will go further?
Dude, if we play in Eugene, I think I have to go. But that might be kind of unlikely.
I don't think we could get the security to get you down there. Unless we're getting you in a box seat that's filled with Notre Dame boosters. Like,
well, I would just have to make sure I sit on the Notre Dame side.
Sideline.
Need some protective custody.
We need Big Dom to watch over you at the Notre Dame Oregon game if that potentially matches up down the road.
I do think this is for the first time this next Saturday at least that I've ever seen Notre Dame playing the 7:30 Pacific time slot. Is there a way to get a fact check on that?
Well, do leprechauns, are they nocturnal?
I would think so. I don't know.
I feel like leprechauns be doing some mischief late at night. I feel like they're never sleeping. They're always after the gold.
That's crazy. How are you going to have
What
it?
did you want me to ask? What's the latest Notre Dame's ever played?
Yeah. If they've ever played the 10:30 Eastern time zone or time slot. But what was I going to say? Well, how are you going to have a premier brand like Notre Dame, though, who's literally like the hot topic of college football, basically play and be into the college football playoff, and you're putting them at the worst time zone or the time slot there is that nobody watches on the East Coast?
Yeah, no, that's insane. I don't know why they're making them play so late.
Yeah.
I'm not getting are we getting the fart noises back up?
No, this tells you whether leprechauns are nocturnal or not.
NBC 15's Brian Johnson has more.
Curiosity leads to large crowds in Mobile's Crichton community. Many of you bring binoculars, camcorders, even camera phones to take pictures.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. I gotta do look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun say yeah? Yeah!
It was definitely the
Yep. It was the lip of the hood. Yep.
Great movie.
Bro,
Dude, I'm pretty sure he was taking the fattest bong rips in that movie. That's kind of how my body feels now, is the lep in the hood. Just crusty little leprechaun. I'm not.
You see the fan sketch? Or the amateur sketch?
I've seen that video before.
The amateur sketch of the leprechaun.
I'll get a fact check on that.
I think I've seen him. I'm not. My computer doesn't have the AI mode going again, which I never know if that's correct. Probably isn't, but.
AI is always correct, dude.
I would say it's got to be 7:30. Could be later.
Yeah, we've probably played one. Maybe we've played USC in that time slot years ago.
Dude, I gotta turn on TBS when I get home.
Pack it up. The Rams. Honestly, I think the Rams they just beat them, and it's the second quarter.
Yeah, not a lot of hope. Not a lot of positivity going on in the faces of the Bucs right now.
So now, if the season ended, the playoffs would go through LA. What's the latest you played?
January 9th. I thought I meant into the football season.
Oh. No, it's like late at night. AI. It's great
You guys never
podcasting.
played a late game at USC?
That's what I was. I don't. Not that I can remember, because I feel like they would always schedule them at least like the 4:30 time slot, 7:30 Eastern.
I feel like it's got to be like 7:30 is the latest. 8 o'clock maybe. I'll give you maybe 8 o'clock at like a BYU game.
Yeah.
I mean, what? I mean, some games start at like 8:30. Like,
Keep it before Coach loses.
I'm trying to see right now.
for real. Is Hat Freeman gonna be out in? Is it in Stanford?
Yeah, it's in Stanford.
Are we gonna get Hat Freeman versus Hat Andrew Luck?
That's Andrew Luck needs to start wearing a hat on that head. I'm gonna be the biggest Andrew Luck hater that game.
Yeah. He's
Calling him a nerd.
You had the shirt, bro. You used to rep the Andrew Luck shirt back in the day.
over under 2 references that game that Andrew Luck is on the sideline.
Oh, easily 5 or 6.
Maybe 1 interview.
At least one. At least one. I love Andrew Luck. I would hope we get 1 interview.
Oh, okay. So the only other thing it's showing about us playing a game that started that late was the 2004 Insight Bowl against Oregon State that was played in Phoenix.
Okay.
It's kind of
I feel like that doesn't really count though. Bowl game.
Yeah.
Bowl game.
So that is pretty crazy.
Is that going to play a factor in the Irish?
That's what I'm wondering. I don't think I should play too big of one since we're just playing Stanford. But I mean, I feel like it's definitely something. Like, you got a bunch of East Coast guys playing that late in the West Coast
They're young.
in a really probably sleepy environment.
Yeah.
Actually, it's Notre Dame. I feel like the Stanford fans are going to show up to that.
Well, remember when we were like 19, early 20, like 2021, like we could party a lot longer in the night. Now
Yeah.
it's maybe because we're getting older and work a lot. So these kids, they can party. Especially, there might be some cool I thought it was USC, but there's probably going to be no Stanford parties. They probably don't party that hard at Stanford.
They're definitely going to show up for this game, though. Rivalry game, they have a chance to try to ruin Notre Dame's season in their minds, so it should be a fun environment.
Well, fuck, boys. Do you guys want to switch into some NFL recap from Week 12?
Let's do it. Yeah.
And then we got to ask the class later, followed by our big mic of the week. NFL Week 12, great week. Let's start over in Chicago. The Chicago Bears 8-3, defeating the Aaron Rodgers-less Pittsburgh Steelers 31-28, taking care of business. Defense coming in big, down all their linebackers. When it mattered, they had to have it. It was actually a pretty fun game. And yeah, man, this Bears team, they just continue to win. And I don't think they're fraudulent. I don't think they're necessarily one of the favorite teams to win. I just think they're a good, solid team who have really turned the ship around, and they're fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're better than the bad teams, but they're not like a great team. They're just about a good team. Like, they're getting to the point where you can call them a good team. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna beat necessarily any of the other like shoe-in playoff teams.
Who do you think they could beat? What if they beat the Eagles next week? Then are we going to be like, oh, okay, this maybe Ben Johnson's.
The Eagles did just lose to the
Cooking
Cowboys, so now it's like, how good of a... I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, that would definitely be... It would still be an eye-opener, because, I mean, it would still be impressive. It's a big game for them. Big chance to make a statement, show you're for real.
It is, bro.
Regardless of what just happened to the Eagles.
Were you surprised Aaron Rodgers just couldn't gut it out and play?
No.
He really wanted to stick it to Chicago one more time.
I feel like Aaron Rodgers doesn't even care about football anymore.
Yep, definitely.
I kind of get that vibe from him.
Well, fuck, they recently have lost their division lead. Now the Ravens have taken over their spot as of today. The Ravens have creeped in, and yeah, it just seems like Pittsburgh's playoff hopes are just kind of fading away slowly off into the distance. So they're just not a fun. Pittsburgh's just not. I mean, they had some exciting plays. Their offense played okay. I think Mason Rudolph is
Looks better
a little
than Rodgers'
faster
is
than
look.
Rodgers. Yeah, the offense looks like it's operating at a quicker speed. But yeah, the Bears they just keep winning, they keep taking care of business. You got anything from this game?
I'm kind of the same things along the lines as what Perk was saying. I think they're a good team, not a great team. I think that they're one of those teams that is kind of taking strides in the right direction as far as the future. I guess next week, like you were saying, would kind of be a true test on where they're really at. But yeah, kind of the same thing as Perk. The Bears are one of those teams for me that's it's still hard for me to say a lot of things about, because some of their wins, at least early on, have been some nail biters, and you can't really count on that as being sustainable all the time.
Mm-hmm.
To be one of those great teams, you kind of have to establish yourself as a great team. You have to go out and handle business from the start. So we'll see. I think they're in a good spot though to continue to build.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah. Yeah, we'll see them. They play the Eagles next Friday night, or Friday afternoon on Black Friday. Let's hop over to Kansas City. Kansas City keeping their playoff hopes alive in a must-needed win. They beat the Indianapolis Colts 23-20 when they had to have it. They got it. They snap a 2-game loss streak, and like I said, Mahomes came in the fourth quarter, outscoring them 11-0, forcing the game into overtime. And like I said, you don't want to go to deep waters with Mahomes. It's just one guy who will make you pay and who is consistently just a winner. So it's good to see Kansas City not dead yet. I think a lot of people were close to writing them off. I think a lot of people would have potentially closed the door on them this weekend, barring a loss.
They're that fourth quarter away from being from that. It was a very gutsy performance.
It was. I mean, they're down 20-9 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So I mean, Kareem Hunt also 104 rushing yards on the ground. He's kind of looked re-energized this season. He's playing some good football right now. They got a good thing going. I think he's playing a lot better than Pacheco a lot. I think they're able to play a lot more of that Chiefs-style football with Hunt. It's more of a balanced pass and run because I think Hunt's a pretty consistent running back.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're a good 1-2 punch to have because they're both kind of different backs. You got Hunt, who's a little more finesse, a little more pass catcher, and then Pacheco's just kind of, I'm just going to run and hit you in the mouth kind of running back.
And I'm not really out on the Colts. I don't necessarily think this was a game where you can say, oh, you can't, you're going to put the blame on Daniel Jones or you're going to go XYZ on why the Colts aren't.
You lost in what, overtime by 3 to the Kansas City Chiefs in a gotta have it game. Yes, it's one that you look back on, you're going to kick yourselves because you should have had it. But at the same time, it's not a loss where you're like, oh, yeah, that's the Colts. They're a fraud. Mm-hmm. It's definitely not that. It was a game that anybody probably could have lost in this kind of spot, playing the Chiefs on the road in a gotta-have-it game.
I got to see who the Chiefs have coming up. They got the, they got the Cowboys, Texans, so they run the Texas Gauntlet, and then the Chargers, Titans, Broncos, and Raiders. So, honestly, I think they won. They got the Cowboys next week on Thanksgiving. So, 1, 2, I think they could potentially win their next 4, have a big game on Christmas with Denver, and then obviously I think they're going to be able to handle the Raiders at the end of the year. But schedule's looking very favorable for the Chiefs right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they might need a little help though, because they still have 2-3 teams in front of them.
Let's see.
And before the 7.
I kind of put the Chiefs and the Ravens in a similar classification, as in obviously to get to this point, both teams are drastically different, but I think that they're well enough coached teams, and they have good enough, players at quarterback that even if they don't end up, they're going to find their way in the conversation at least towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
You can pretty much.
Well, aren't the Ravens tied now with the Steelers for the division?
Yeah,
they're probably going to win it.
Yeah,
Oh, they're going to be in the playoffs.
It's crazy, though, how different that team looked without Lamar.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a huge game with the Texans being 6-5 as well, one spot in front of the in front of the Chiefs. There'll be some big
it's a
implications
huge game,
on that
yeah.
one. And Mahomes he's kind of owned the Texans in most of their outings. So,
As a Jags fan, I would like to see the Chiefs win that because we win the tiebreaker over the Chiefs. I don't know if we win against the Texans. I think that still depends on how the rest of our division games go.
Patriots 10-2 is just glaring me in the face. We're gonna get into the Patriots Bengals game, but it sickens me to a core to see this team just winning every game. Again, easy schedule, but weatherless, it's hard to win in the NFL, and they are 10-2. They're looking pretty dominant, sitting at the top.
Yeah, they are.
But yeah, Patriots, Broncos, Colts, Ravens, top 4 right now, and then Chargers, Jags, Bills, with now the Steelers looking outside the window, and then Texans, Chiefs, and then it kind of falls off from there. So that's kind of your AFC picture right now. You guys want to roll into? Should we just roll into the Patriots defeating the Cincinnati Bengals 26-20? Bengals, they were clawing at the end. They had a couple chances, man.
Yeah.
They just couldn't fucking convert to points. Do you think this game's different if Jamar Chase never spit on Jalen Ramsey?
Potentially. I feel like the Bengals just keep... I mean, it's tough. Obviously, they don't have Burrow, but they keep finding ways to lose, it seems like. I mean, while the Patriots are on the other end finding ways to win. So, hard for me, based on what's happened in the other games, to think that Jamar being there would have made too much of a difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, got to hand it to the Patriots regardless of what happens during the postseason. A huge jump, obviously, this year. Drake May playing some good ball. Going to be interesting to see when they have another really big game, because I know they had that win against the Bills, and they did beat the Bucks. The Bucks, granted, haven't looked good though, and the Bills, that was kind of I feel like kind of a caught them a little off guard game. So it'll be interesting to see the Patriots in a real high stakes, big spotlight game here. See what they're really made of, what kind of guts they got.
And honestly, a huge loss, too, for the Patriots, losing the whole left side of their line. I believe their guard went down, and then obviously Will Campbell got carted off with a knee injury.
Really?
So you hope it's nothing too serious.
Yeah.
But yeah, Patriots just keep taking care of business. Kind of a stinker of a game. I don't think I paid attention to it a little bit. Very slow game going into the second half. I believe it was a 7-3 game going in the second half, but the Ravens taking care of the Jets 23-10. We kind of briefly just touched on the Ravens now taking first place sole control. Oh, Baker's. Oh no, right? It's not good.
Yeah, he's done.
It's not good.
He threw a pick on that too.
Baker, man, he's as tough as it comes, but it's just.
Yeah.
I don't even. Sad to see. The Rams, they just bowl you. They just beat the heck out of you.
South to the Panthers now.
Yeah, I'm interested to see.
Panthers, maybe. Panthers, they go and win tomorrow. They go take care of Brock Purdy and Eli's Niners.
Dude, that's a very interesting game.
I hope it's a good game.
We got to wait till the coin toss to see what happens.
What if is it that the Panthers lose the toss, they win the game, and if they
No, if they win the toss, they win the game. If they lose the toss, they lose the game. So it all comes down to the coin toss of the Panthers this season.
You basically get a better buy if you were just to bet on them to win the coin toss versus betting on them to win the game.
Too bad in the state in which we live in, online is non-existent.
That's why we got to hang out at the casino tomorrow. Wait to see who wins the toss, and then...
That'd be cool to be like sponsored, since we can't have mobile apps, to be sponsored maybe by the sports betting casinos.
We have offers on the table to do some advertisement, but I think we got to grow our rep a little bit bigger before we start selling out.
And we got to cut Perkins. We got to renegotiate Perkins' contract. He's asking for way too much of the shared revenue.
I should have thought about that before you signed the deal.
That's true. We need a talent.
All I'm saying is
myself.
We almost have enough combined that we could buy one monster. We'd all have to share it. But
Hopefully one day we can buy a whole 12-pack of Monsters.
don't
be
get ahead of
awesome.
yourself, man.
But yeah, that game was kind of smelly. But the Ravens, they win fifth in a row, and they keep rolling. Let's move over to another smelly game. The Minnesota Vikings losing to the Green Bay Packers 23-6. And boys, I got to ask you, did the Vikings make the wrong choice with J.J. McCarthy?
Yeah,
Yep.
they did.
12 for 19, 2 interceptions, and they got their butt kicked.
Yeah, I personally was never that high on McCarthy coming out of college.
Right now.
It's always tough for me to trust quarterbacks that are on these teams where basically the entirety of their team got drafted in the early part of the draft. And I'm not saying that there's quarterbacks that haven't succeeded out of those environments. I'm just saying it's always tough. I'm always skeptical about them. And J.J. McCarthy is a great example why, from what he's shown so far. And yeah, the Vikings just, they look like they messed up letting Darnold walk for that guy.
Yeah, and they got a tall order next week when they roll into Seattle for the Darnold revenge game.
Darnold revenge game.
You don't write Sammy Emerald off just to find out he's been controlling the whole palace in the Emerald City. He is now sitting, in the 5th seed? I look for the Seahawks to get some nasty revenge on the Minnesota Vikings next week. I look for Sam Darnold to make Kevin O'Connell pay for thinking J.J. McCarthy is a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. But
you have to.
I'm probably going to jinx it, and Jay Jettas is going to go for 180 yards. But JSN, he can go for 190 because he is currently on pace to beat Calvin Megatron's record right now. I believe he has 11 or 1,400. I got to pull it up. We'll get into that when we get into the Hawks game. But that's an exciting game next week.
It is.
And yes, I agree. I think the Vikings have just been an utter disappointment. I think as a fan base, it has to be really frustrating going from winning 14 games last year to only have won 4 games this year.
Yeah.
It's just real disappointing. The Packers, credit to them, they don't go away. I don't think they asked Love to do too much today. I think they kind of really simplify. I think they're kind of the Iowa of the NFL right now, the way they play. It's not fun, it's not pretty, but they are tough and they are coached well. And their defense is great. I think.
Yeah, their defense is playing some good ball.
Yeah,
keeping them in games. Their offense can't really run away from anyone.
No, that is pretty apparent. Carter, you got anything from this game that you'd like to touch on?
No, I got one. We got one curb the goat dropped in the comments here.
Just kidding. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, after watching him last night,
dude,
it's good to be called to go. Oh, we got someone coming down. Oh, what's up? How's it going?
I'm just saying what's up. Sorry, I didn't know you were recording, brother.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Big Rice stopping by saying what's up. After watching him last night and they're wanting to be the GOAT, it's good because I also want to be the GOAT. I just don't want to do all the satanic rituals.
That movie didn't make very much sense, though.
That movie pissed me off. And we're talking about the movie Him. At points, the cinematography in the movie was really cool, and it was like really appeasing to look at. But the actual plot of the movie pissed me off to a primal disgust. I don't know. The ending had no payoff for sitting through the whole movie, and Julia Fox's eyebrows were making me mad. I don't like when girls bleach their eyebrows like that. Give me the natty color.
Yeah.
But it was weird. Like Carter said, it ruined his night as well. I think we both just immediately had to go to bed after. Just, all right. We just said goodbye after, dabbed up. So
yeah.
We got to sleep
wasted
on it.
our time.
It
We had to
was very
sleep on
much.
it.
I even said, like, after I left, I was like, well, I don't know if that was a good movie or a bad movie, but I'll let you know tomorrow. The more I thought about it, the more I was like, yeah, this is bad.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to make an emotional decision based, immediately following, but I just didn't like it. The one chick, though, shout out to the one chick who was the assistant of Julia Fox. She's a great actress.
Oh, very great actress.
Great acting.
Huge heart.
Huge. It was under there somewhere. Should we roll over to our well, it could have been, it once was all of ours, but
Yeah.
Perk left. But our Seattle Seahawks kind of winning in disgusting fashion, 30-24 over the Tennessee Titans. It wasn't pretty necessarily, but a win's a win. You know, I watched Coach Mack in the locker room after. He wasn't too upset, so I'm not going to get too upset. He knows this team's got a lot to clean up and a lot to get better on, and they continuously do that. And, you know, I'm really excited going into next week's game. I'm really hoping Sam Darnold gets his revenge from Minnesota, making him pack his bags and leave town, because we appreciate you here in Seattle, Sammy Emerald. But Tennessee Titans, Cam Ward, you could flip it this way. Had one of his best games in the league this year. He played pretty well. Obviously getting Respirado back kind of seemed like it kind of gave him some confidence. He was taking some shots. He was making some great throws after extending plays. He was kind of hard to sack in a couple instances, but he dropped back and threw the ball 42 times, which means they trust this kid throwing the ball. But you ran into a buzzsaw who is the Seattle Seahawks, who just got to keep winning to keep their playoff berth alive. But what did you guys think from this game? I was disgusted, but a win's a win.
Yeah, I mean, offensively, they definitely had some showed that ability they've had all year with JSN and rest of their core to just take the top off you. Very dynamic. Wasn't the prettiest performance altogether, but it's an early start, East Coast travel. It's the NFL. You're gonna have some sluggish games.
Let me ask you this question, because it comes to us from Chad, but it's amongst the lines of what we're talking about. Are you concerned with Sam Darnold's performance versus these big defenses? Because we kind of talked about that earlier too, and they kind of keep highlighting the 4 losses and how it is against really good teams. How it kind of makes us mad. But are you concerned at all?
I think it's definitely eye-opening that it seems to kind of be a little bit of a pattern.
I agree. It's an annoying pattern.
I wouldn't say necessarily yet that. I mean, I guess it's a decent sample size, but I think he's had a lot of good performances too against pretty good teams that like people aren't talking about. Mm-hmm. So I don't think there's been enough of like the crapping the bed performances in big games to necessarily give him that tag yet. But granted, he is probably like one away from it being like, all right, bro, when are you gonna play well and ball out in one of these? But
it's coming. He's not showing his hand.
I mean, what's like your next big game that you guys have?
Vikings
that's
next
like,
week.
I mean, like really spotlighted
Colts
game.
In 2 weeks.
That's not a great defense too, though. So you guys should be
probably
that one should be smother them.
Probably the Rams again.
Yeah.
Maybe I might have to try to get out to that game because that's the Thursday.
I mean, the
game.
Colts one. I guess that is still one to look at because it's probably going to be a big spotlight game. But granted, their defense isn't necessarily what's winning them games. Their defense isn't that scary. It's their offense that's been efficient. But yeah, see, I guess what he does against the Rams the next time.
What about you, C-Dub? What's your thoughts and feelings from this game?
I think ultimately at the beginning of the year, the reason that you brought Sam Darnold in was more to kind of protect the football as they kind of reinvented what they were as an offense, and everything's all in on the defense. So the reason like the defense I felt like wasn't so against the Sam Darnold performance was the fact that was kind of abnormal for him to have all of that at once. And I think even if you take away, like, say he has, only like 2 turnovers that game, you put yourself in a pretty good position to still win that game, which I think is pretty eye-opening to me as far as like where we're at as a team. We still had a chance to win that game at the very end. So I don't know. It's not something that I'm necessarily super concerned about because I don't think our expectation for him has grown because of the last 2 years. But what he's really been brought in to do, if you kind of keep that kind of idea in of just protecting the football, we have a good enough defense this year that alone is going to keep us in ball games. So I'm not necessarily concerned. I do agree, though, that it's going to be pretty telling. I don't see there being a problem up until kind of the Rams game where that's going to show, because that's kind of end of the year, and that's either going to worry the fan base or settle down the fan base, and we kind of want all things rolling going in, especially since that game could have huge implications, depending on how things kind of pan out to continue.
Yeah, just like Al Davis and Sam Darnold say, just win, baby.
Just win.
Or,
That's right.
I know Al Davis at least said that, but I like to think Sammy's saying that. And like I said, Seahawks, they're going to get healthy, and it's going to be big for the Seahawks to be healthy on the same page at the same time. I'm really looking forward to Julian Love getting back into our secondary, and having Kobe Bryant kind of substitute in, but giving some more help in that secondary. But it's exciting times in the NFC right now, a real tight race.
Yeah.
Another tight game today, and I was praying for the G-men to get it done, but the Giants falling short to the Detroit Lions 34-27 in overtime. Jahmyr Gibbs with a huge touchdown run in overtime to kind of put pressure on the G-men. But hey, man, Jameis, he's been playing some fun games. I mean, he sat back, threw the ball 36 times, threw 2 touchdowns, caught 1 touchdown today, had a crazy play. What's not to love? It's just Jameis is making the most of his opportunity, and he looks like a man who's just very thankful and blessed that he gets to wake up and perform in the NFL.
I mean, that's the thing.
It's awesome to watch.
It's never been a question with Jameis about whether his arm can make plays.
Yeah.
It's all on the mental side of decision making for sure.
You see the touchdown dance they all hit? They all hit like maybe it had to be from Hamilton, the way it was choreographed. It was beautiful.
I didn't see that.
You got to hit that. You got to show us what you mean.
I think it was kind of like the Outsiders when they're all kind of like walking together. Bro, first of all, the Outsiders got nothing on the Montana Boys. I found out about the Montana Boys this weekend. I can't get enough of them. I can't believe there's dudes out there who legitimately do those videos, but now that I've watched them, I can't get enough, and we have to lip sync some country videos.
The Summit Boys,
bro. The Summit Boys are coming, but that's how you get girls, allegedly.
Apparently, no, it is.
So we'll see. We'll have to dive into that. But yeah, no, the Lions keeping their playoff hopes alive. A huge win for the Lions. They are currently sitting out of the NFC playoff race right now, but sitting at 7-4. They have the Green Bay Packers next week on Thanksgiving, I believe. So that's a real exciting game. I'm excited for that. That's the morning game on Thanksgiving. So huge implications. Arguably, I think loser probably gets bounced to outside the playoff house. Probably has to start looking looks back through the window. Whoever loses that game. So that's a huge game. Then they got the Cowboys, Rams, Steelers, Vikings, Bears. So, I mean, yeah, they'll probably win three or 4 out of those. Bears is going to be a tough one. Rams is going to be a tough game. But, yeah, no, I look for the Lions to be competitive, get it together. They're going to be a fun team to watch to kind of close out the year. Gosh, the Bucs are getting ran.
Yeah, they are.
Should we move over into the afternoon slate?
Let's do it.
Start out with your Jags. Give you the floor. Jaguars winning 27-24 in overtime, kind of letting the Cardinals hang. What's your instant reaction? I know you were calling for Trevor's job. You weren't too happy with Trevor, but I don't know.
Yeah, it was an ugly one. Like we were just saying, you'll take a win when you can get a win in the National Football League. Turning the ball over 4 times is very ugly, and that was, I think, what kept the game in the balance for as long as it did. And then, Liam Cohen, what were you doing when the Cardinals have no timeouts and you are up 3? You could have kicked a field goal to gone up 6, make them drive the length of the field and score 6 when they have no timeouts, and instead you go for it and don't get it, and they can go kick 3 and send it to overtime. We're lucky. Like what you guys were kind of talking about with the Seahawks defense keeping them in. Our defense definitely bailed us out in this one. They didn't play great, but they played good. They definitely were, I think, the side that got the win for us at the end of the day. Having some big timely sacks at times and just some, bailing out Trevor for his mistakes. But yeah, it was ugly, but you got to beat those bad teams, and that's what we did. And got a few more games against bad teams that hopefully we can take care of and go be a playoff team.
Yeah. No, I think it's just a matter of fact when Trevor's going to start playing more consistent balls because three touchdowns and 3 interceptions is.
I think he's got 11 interceptions now on the season. That's bad.
He's got to take care of the ball. That's the problem. The Jags are just letting teams either back in the game or they're just letting them hang with them when they have the potential just to shut them out. And you can see Cohen's real frustrated on the sideline with it. So, I mean, it's not bad. Hey, yes, would you rather be sitting 8-3, but 7-4 is looking okay right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you would have came to me before the year and told me that we were going to be 7-4, 11 games in, I would be pretty happy with it.
Yeah,
I'd be like, sweet. So, I mean, and I do think with the roster we have in reality, when you look at what we have on paper from a talent standpoint, I think we're still overachieving for what our record is. We're like doing pretty good, doing a good job. You know, we're obviously making a jump from what we were, but it seems like the quarterback position might be a major issue, honestly. Doesn't seem like Trevor's making that progression that everyone's been waiting for, and he can't cut the turnovers down. It's like, when's it going to be time, man? When we, you know, this was supposed to be a pretty big year for him, and yeah, we're winning games, but it seems to be we're winning in spite of Trevor in most of these. Honestly, we've had a few wins where it was Trevor just playing pretty good, but there's definitely been a few wins too where, like the first Texans win we had, seemed to be very in spite of Trevor not playing well. This one was.
Who would you like to see besides Trevor? If you were to move on from Trevor, who would you like to see as your next quarterback?
Yeah. That's tough. I guess I haven't put a ton of thought into it yet. It's
Geno
tough.
Smith.
No. It's tough to say from a college standpoint because we don't even have a first round pick, but I mean, I will throw this one out there. I wouldn't totally hate it. And I could see things blowing up with this team and this guy potentially being on the market. It would be Dak to Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
I don't think Trevor's played bad enough to lose a spot. And I think you got to let the season play out.
Trevor.
There's games where he shows it. And he's a very high caliber.
I think there's been games he shows he doesn't have it, though, more than games he's shown he has it, to be honest.
What's the money looking like with it, though? That's also something you have to look at. Is there too much money tied into Trevor Lawrence to move on from him right now?
I would say so.
He's got.
I mean, the Giants moved on from Daniel Jones after paying him.
That's true.
So
you guys, I guess, haven't really been paying anybody.
But no, not really. Besides Josh Allen, but I mean, I guess it's tough if we make the playoffs to move on from the guy that you just went to the playoffs to. But like I said, it's like I feel like at this point we're winning a lot of these games in spite of Trevor. Like this one for sure. It's like. Well, at what point do you just go get a guy that is at least gonna not be the reason you lose some games and not hold you back? Not maybe he doesn't have all the crazy arm talent Trevor has or was supposed to have, but he doesn't turn the ball over once a game like Trevor.
Yeah, we'll see. I really hope he cleans it up.
Yeah,
and I hope the Jags kind of go on a run. I mean, they're either like one of the, like Carter was saying, they're one of the funnest teams to watch where it's like, dang, the Jags are really good, or it's like, dang, the Jags really suck, or not looking good. So look for them to get it together. Let's briefly go over this game. I know not too many eyes were on this, but the Falcons snap a 5-game losing streak, and Kirk Cousins picks up a dub against the Saints, and that's the recap against the Falcons and Saints. That game wasn't that interesting. I don't know. Was there anything you guys had from that game?
I think I barely tuned it because it was on the same time as the Jags game and then the other game that the Cowboys game. So it's hard to.
It was a stinker.
Yeah,
it was
certified stinker.
What about a certified legend and Shador Sanders picking up the dub? No, I'm just kidding. He goes 11 for 20, 1 touchdown.
Who is that 1 touchdown to?
Dylan Sampson, Tennessee
My boy.
native.
Go Vols.
Bro, that's probably the highlight of the Vols' year this year. It's that Sampson touchdown.
Come on now.
And then maybe beating Vandy. Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm not going to tell you who I'm rooting for.
We'll see. We all know who he's rooting for.
I might be rooting for Tennessee. You don't know that.
I know for sure. You're a villain guy. You love all the heels. If
I
anybody's
do.
like, I don't like that guy, you eventually are like, I like that guy. It started with Caleb Williams. I know Caleb Williams, USC, and then he's a Bear, and then you're like, I love Caleb Williams. Then you go
I
Pavia,
love all USC quarterbacks.
and Pavia, because he's been talking that trash. You're like, I like that he's talking trash. Shador Sanders, another guy.
And
Love
he was
Shador
talking.
Sanders. You were a Johnny Manziel guy.
Yeah, that was a low. That one I'm not too proud of, but he was still fun to watch. I mean, everybody had fun watching Johnny football. But the Browns, their defense, man, they beat the fucking crap out of the Raiders. The Raiders suck. I hate watching the Raiders.
The Raiders are bad.
It makes me sad watching Pete Carroll. I mean, but then again, Pete Carroll kind of ruined my life by running the ball on the 2-yard line. And I honestly think I would be married with kids right now, very highly successful if I had 2 Super Bowl rings. Can live with Super Bowl 40, can't live with 49. So this is what you get, Pete. You get the 2-9 stinky Raiders and Geno Smith. And Shador is perfect timing all over your guys' ass, even though the defense and Judkins was extremely dominant today with 2 touchdowns. The whole running game was dominant with Sampson having a reception touchdown and then Judkins 2 on the ground, but running the ball pretty dominantly. Raiders, man, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know. It's time to go.
They're a mess.
CJ Carr, maybe? Is Brady?
That's what that sounds like. It's who Brady wants. But I was looking at Raider comments on some of their posts about that, and they're all like, "What are we gonna do in the year between then?" Suffer Geno another year.
Bro, it's so funny to watch all the Raiders fans dressed up and have pain and all these outfits on, and they're just complaining and just so upset.
Yeah.
They got to do better for those fans.
Oh, yeah.
Like you said, it sucks to drive home in that.
Yeah. Well, those are probably the guys who are driving from Oakland, too. They're probably not Vegas residents.
That's true.
So they have the utmost dedication for their team, and they are not providing whatsoever.
No.
At what point do you sell your tickets, though?
Probably good.
How big of a fan are you that you're willing to watch full garb? You purchase shoulder pads and put spikes on them, and you are wearing those to NFL games.
The fact you knew Shador was coming to play your team, though, probably helped.
Oh, yeah.
You wanted to go.
It's a travel destination spot now. I mean, it's literally the opposing fans usually heavily outnumber the existing the Raiders fans that show up. So it's not looking good for the Raiders.
You're gonna go to the roulette table with shoulder pads with spikes on them, though. Where's that guy going to tourist destinations?
It would be hilarious for him to like bet on black and then lose right after that. All right, boys. America's game of the week. Eagles getting blanked in the second half, 17-0, but losing to the Dallas Cowboys 24-21. Did the Eagles have a problem, or was that just a fun game? Was that just a good old-fashioned comeback on America's game of the week?
There's going to be all kind of talking points about the Eagles losing this one and what's wrong with the Eagles, which I think is going to be overhyped. I think divisional games are always a little tougher than most of the other ones. You play a team that knows you really well, that hates you, that sees the players they're matched up with twice a year. So it always makes it a little bit tougher. Yeah, it wasn't a good performance. It wasn't a great performance for the Eagles, but they had 2 fumbles. I think fumbles, I mean, you have your players that have fumble issues too, obviously, but I think fumbles, when they happen and teams win off big fumbles, it's very fluky. Mm-hmm. Because, like, you know, that's just how it is. It's like, it's a once in a every few games type of occurrence. It's not something that you can rely off of forcing a team to fumble, So I think it was a little bit just of the Eagles having some bad breaks, not their best performance. Cowboys feeling like they really had to have it, and they got it. Maybe they are playing some better football now, and they might get hot, might make a playoff push. But I don't think it's anything as far as the Eagles side to all of a sudden be like, oh, are the Eagles in trouble? Which you're going to hear that on every NFL show all week, every ESPN show. They're going to be talking about it.
Oh, yeah. No, and the Eagles, even though winning the turnover battle, still those turnovers kind of come back. The 2 fumbles come back to bite them, especially the Saquon one in the second half. But, yeah, I mean, and Dak Prescott had a great day, 354 yards. George Pickens had 146 yards receiving, so that's been a great addition to this Cowboys offense. So I don't necessarily think they're going to pull it together and make a run. I know they got the Chiefs next week, which is going to be a really tough game for the Cowboys, followed by the Lions. So those are 2 real back-to-back tough games. But, hey, their offense is playing good. They're a fun watch on offense. So
no, they definitely are. Defense just needs to, which they played well in the second half today.
Mm-hmm. What about you, C-Dub? You got anything from this game? Kelly Greens were looking good.
Kelly Greens were looking good. I kind of agree with you guys. I think it was a good game. It started off. If it would have finished like it started off, that wouldn't have been a fun game to watch whatsoever. But it becoming a game, I don't know how much you can contribute that to also being at home, in kind of that familiar environment. But just like Perk was saying, like the way that you win, it's awesome that you get the win, but it's not a sustainable thing to count on every single week. But huge win for them. So you got to give credit where credit's due. I don't think if you're Philadelphia, you're panicking at all.
Yeah.
There's gonna be people who panic because, like you said, it is a talking point. It gives people things to talk about, but there wasn't enough shown that there's like a huge hole. Really.
Yeah.
They just had an opportunity to put them away, and they didn't end up putting them away.
Oh, well said. Well said. I agree. Well, looks like the Rams are kind of taking care of the Bucs, so kind of maybe touch on that before they.
Yeah, you got Bridgewater in the game now, so I think you can mark that one as a Rams win.
Yeah, count that up, chalk it up as a Rams dub. Do you boys want to get into some Ask the Class questions? You guys good on NFL? Anything else you want to add, or looking forward to next week? What?
I think we.
No, I'm saying roll into Ask the Class.
Yeah.
Rolling into.
See if we can get any live questions on Ask the Class as well.
Would love some. We got some listed here too, so we'll take as many as we can. This segment, Ask the Class segment, is brought to you by Mams Clothing. They got workout shirts just like this one. They got this one in blue too. But it has workout shirts, and sweatshirts that move with you, not against you. From the weight room to the weekend, they got you covered. Literally. Go follow Mams Clothing on social media, MAMS. They got a new sweatshirt drop. They got their website up. Go check them out. Great sponsor of the show. Ask the Class. Let's kick it off with, we got some great questions this week from the class. We always appreciate when you guys send us in questions. You can do that by DMing the account on TikTok, on Instagram. That's only where you can find us for now. But hit us up on that if you got some questions. We got several we're going to dive into tonight, so let's kick it off. What are your guys' top 5 college football rivalries? And keep in mind, we are heading into rivalry weekend next week, so feel free to throw some in from that weekend as well. But maybe give me your 3 to 5. Give me a few, as many as you can list that you guys like, and then I'll give you mine.
Yeah, I'm not going to say a particular order on my 5, but I'll throw at least the 5 I think you got to put out there. Obviously, Michigan, Ohio State, especially as of the decade. That's been the best one of the decade for sure. I'd say Bama, Auburn, just because of how, the success of Alabama football Auburn having pretty good success themselves, and just the hate that runs deep in that state between those teams. I think that obviously every year everyone loves to watch that game. And then I hate that there's a chance we're about to lose this one. And I think a lot of people who are a little newer to college football, for one, or aren't fans of either two teams, don't realize how big of a rivalry this is. But any college football head will tell you this is a classic, is Notre Dame SC. Granted, not always played on rivalry weekend like this year when it's in Notre Dame, but it's always a great rivalry. You go to either campus during the games, and it's an amazing environment. And then I'm going to be... I feel like you can't leave this one off, even though it's not the most high-stakes game. But Army-Navy, that's a classic rivalry. It just is. And then the fifth one, it's probably the Red River, Oklahoma, Texas. Mm-hmm. That's probably my top 5.
I'll just kind of add on kind of my own personal, that are just games you just like to see when they're on, not necessarily for the weekend. I just feel like there's a few of them, but whenever Georgia and Alabama play, that's definitely a big one. It obviously is more recent, as far as like nationally everybody wanting to see it. You're going to watch two of the best teams play. Those games are always exciting. There's my personal, I have two that I love. One, I absolutely love the Tennessee, Alabama every single year. That was always a fun game. And it always tends to, this year wasn't as exciting, but the last few years it's been pretty exciting, and it's always fun. You get to light up the cigar after beating your rival. That's one of the most fun things to do. And then I would probably go with one that is always, this year it's probably not as much, but in years past, I always love the UW Oregon games.
Oh yeah,
those games are always fun, especially when both those teams are good. There's a lot of hate that goes back and forth. That may not reach as big of an audience nationally, but regionally, that's a pretty big game.
What did you see Pat McAfee when they're at game day this weekend? They asked the Oregon fans, they're like, "Who do you hate more, the Huskies or the Beavers?" And he said the Dogs or the Beavers, and everyone said the Dogs.
I love that beef. I'd say my favorite rivalries are, one is the Ohio State-Michigan. I love just getting, especially now, you get to wake up, watch Gus Johnson go at it and basically die calling this game.
Oh yeah.
This is one I'm excited for, is Texas versus Texas A&M. I think that's just going to be an unreal.
They hate each other too. When I went to A&M, like, they weren't even like mad at Notre Dame fans. It was like they'd see you wearing Notre Dame stuff, they'd be like, "Well, you hate Texas, right?" And it's like, yeah, horns down. Yeah.
I didn't know the waters run that deep.
Yeah.
Against those teams. And then my third one, I only had 3 written down, but I'm sad this one isn't after Thanksgiving, because this game just hits different after Thanksgiving, and that's the Apple Cup, UW Wazoo.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I do
colors
miss.
are awesome to watch. Usually it's a good game. Sometimes it's not, but that's just how you know, like, it's about to be Christmas time.
I feel like that was such like a childhood Thanksgiving weekend tradition for me too. Was the Apple Cup. It just feels different not having it.
Yeah, they need to move it back.
Yeah.
All right, boys.
Can I mention one?
Yeah.
Too. 10 years ago, this very well could have been in anybody's top 10, and when these two teams are good, I think this is one of the best rivalries in college football, is Florida State.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great game. It sucks that both programs are kind of in the gutter right now, but when those programs are good, that rivalry is awesome.
And I see they just extended, or said Norvell's going to come back next year, because they probably don't want to pay one of the biggest buyouts in college football history.
I think, sorry to interrupt you too, but I just want to throw one more that I think's a really fun, underrated one too, is Utah BYU. Those teams
yeah.
hate each other. That one's always the Holy War. That's always a good one. It
Are
was
they
a
allowed
good
to
game
bang at
this
Utah?
year. Yeah, Utah's not a Mormon school.
Dang, that's dope.
The best rivalries are the ones where that the two schools just absolutely hate each other.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When
No
the
love
more
lost.
hate there is, the better the rivalry is.
That's facts. That's facts. All right, boys, let's keep it in to Thanksgiving next week. So you guys got to give me your favorite Thanksgiving meal or tradition. You can give me both if you want.
Thanksgiving meal
I'm
or
probably gonna give
tradition?
you a meal though.
Like food?
Yeah, like just give me your favorite. Give me your few favorite dishes on Thanksgiving. Your favorite part of Thanksgiving. Just give me your favorite part of
I
Thanksgiving.
mean, I love ham. My family always does a ham and a turkey on Thanksgiving, and I always pig down on the ham, so I always look
Literally.
forward to that. Yeah, literally. I go pig on that ham.
Quiet piggy.
So yeah, that's always. You mix that ham up with some mashed potatoes and gravy. That hits. But tradition. I mean, I kind of bounce back between what family I go to. I don't have, I guess, the most solid set Thanksgiving tradition, but I'd say just watching football, eating some ham and watching some football. That's it.
That's pigging out. Literally.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would go a smoked ham, like putting the ham on the smoker. I love myself some ham as well. The deep fried turkey is pretty good. You can't go wrong with that. I would say you almost have to put the sides in a separate category.
You do.
There are some good sides.
Mashed potato, I think's the Alabama of sides.
Okay, mashed potatoes and gravy. Also, if you throw in, I mean, sometimes the sides. I don't know about you guys.
A good stuffing's always good too.
Yeah.
take
It always
that.
depends on what family member of mine's making it though, because I don't remember which one it was, but one time I had a family member who put cranberries in the stuffing. And I was low-key pissed. I was not I was not a fan of it. It reminded me of like some vegan style stuffing, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't want cranberries in my stuffing. It just doesn't taste like Thanksgiving stuffing to me.
Are you a cranberries guy with your meal?
Canned cranberries?
Yeah, they throw the canned cranberries in there. What do you guys think?
Looks a lot better than it is.
Sometimes I'll have a little bit with. I'm not crazy about it, but I'll throw it on there just because it's there.
I'm not a big fan of the canned cranberries. I'll avoid it. Best thing to do though, especially if you're the host, is once everybody's gone, you got those leftovers. Making a sandwich after.
Oh yeah.
The sandwich is arguably better than the meal itself. You putting everything together. Back in the day, I'd be past the football games. You'd be watching TV. The George Lopez intro would hit, and I'd be like, "Yep, I'm making myself a sandwich right now." Throw in everything.
I love the holidays.
Gotta love
That just
the
made me
holidays,
feel good
dude.
hearing that. I know we're doing a chili this year, kind of switching it up this year, but I'm excited for the chili. I'm a big buns and rolls guy, and I love Rice Krispie treats and like the cheese. Give me the cheese.
I love rolling on some buns.
Oh, I love rolling on some juicy buns. But the cheese and cracker spread.
Oh yeah.
Give me cheese, crackers, and Rice Krispie treats and some buns, and then I'm not too picky when it comes to dinner. I'll eat anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. All right, boys. What who do you think has a better chance of going further in the playoff? Oregon or Notre Dame? Notre Dame.
Matt boil
We talked
this down to
about this
probably
earlier.
2 or 3 people that asked this question, but yeah, I mean, obviously you know what I'm going to answer, but I mean, like I was explaining non-biased earlier, I mean, I listen to plenty of sports bettors who do it for a living. They power rate teams. It's their every day is to break down college football teams from a very top to bottom perspective, and guys who are former players, and every one of them just about says from what they say. I mean, they're not comparing Notre Dame and Oregon directly most of the time, but when they break down teams that they can think of win a national championship, it's Notre Dame before Oregon every time. And I think so. From one, I think you look at the line, they just don't get the same kind of guys out west as these Midwest and Southern schools do on the line, and especially Notre Dame, who I think has the best O-line in the nation. A lot of people agree. And we can run it down anyone's throat. Jeremiah Love, he's second in Heisman odds right now for a reason. Granted, Oregon has a pretty good run game themselves, but it got stymied when they played Indiana. That's the most physical team they've played. Kind of got bullied at home. They haven't showed that they can bully a real physical team yet, so we'll see how that goes. But they're also very injured, very beat up. I think they're young. I think they could maybe put together a team next year that could be legit, but I just think they're too young, too injured, not physical enough to make a real championship run. I think they need a favorable playoff matchup to win a playoff game.
Yeah, no, I think Oregon is the Gonzaga of college football. So, sorry, Perk, but yeah, that will...
Not this year. Gonzaga's legitimate this year.
So we're all on the Notre Dame train?
Yeah.
All right, this is the last one I got sent in from us, but Perk, in honor of college basketball and NBA starting up, what's your current three-point percentage right now? How are we looking from the three-point line? If you had to shoot 10 threes, how many are we making?
Dude, it's probably no crap been...
We might have to test this theory.
Dude, it might have been pre-COVID the last time I've taken a three-pointer.
I might say 20% right now.
Around that might be good for me at this point, bro. 20%. It's bad how long it's been since I've actually shot a basketball. And kind of disappointing considering that used to be just my favorite way to kill time. But man, I don't know. I'd probably be happy if I put 1 in out of the 10, two out of 10. Yeah, I need to go get my shot back because it's been a while since I've shot a basketball, so I'm not confident I would make one in my first 5 tries.
We all got to shoot 10, and then we can put our percentages on the board.
Might have to.
Well, fuck, boys. I think that kind of just about... Actually, we got to get to our Big Mic of the Week. We always do our Big Mic of the Week, so that just is kind of the most deserving person who's gone beast mode that week. We put him on the Kangol hat, the illustrious Big Mike Kangol hat, and we add him to the Big Mic of the Week under Big Mike. And Carter today is going to tell us who our Big Mic of the Week is and why we chose him.
Our Big Mic of the Week is John Beam of Laney College, who unfortunately was unalived by an individual on campus of the school, a former football player. This was a guy who dedicated a lot of his life to serving the community and serving Laney College, and I think the best way to honor him would be to give him the Big Mic of the Week.
I agree, man. Thoughts and prayers to Coach Beam's family and everyone he affected and was a part of their lives. So thinking of all you guys, and I think no better way to represent him than adding him to the Big Mic of the Week. 2 great football guys.
I agree.
With that being said, thank you boys for coming to class this week.
Yes, sir.
Look forward to chilling with you guys next week. As always, we'll see you in detention. Have a good weekend. Have a good week, guys.
Enjoy some feast week, some Thanksgiving, and some rivalry weekend. Great week for sports.
Let's go.